Hey everyone, welcome to Pedalboards the Team. This week we have to talk about the Pantheon Deluxe because it has been a huge release and it's something I've been waiting to talk about for ages and ages and ages. It's so cool. What is it? It's basically a dual blues breaker circuit. So it's based like on the Pantheon pedal, but it's two in the same box. Two blues breakers in the same box isn't a new idea, but this may well be the ultimate version of that style of idea. So why is it that this is the ultimate version? Well, first off, there's no 4-year waiting list. That's a big plus. Secondly, if you want to buy one now, you haven't got to pay up to $1,000. It's just, you just pay the price that these cost. Unfortunately, there's no second-hand ones yet. But I don't see there being many second-hand ones, actually, because this looks damn good. So what have you got? On each side, you've got your volume, your gain, your bass, and your treble, as you would have on a blues breaker circuit. But you've also got 3 different levels of gain that you can switch between, and 3 different clipping methods. You've got soft and hard together, and then hard clipping. So that gives you 9 different variations of tone just on the switching alone of each unit. Well, each channel, I should say. When you put them together, 9 on that side, 9 on that side, you've got 81 different variations of tone. Okay, so you can have them both on together, you can have them either side. That gives you about 100 different clipping tones that you can choose between, and then you can swap the order. So if on channel 1 you've got very soft clipping, on channel 2 you've got very hard clipping and higher gain. If you run 1 into 2, it's going to sound a lot different than if you run 2 into 1. So that doubles the amount of clipping options you've got. So just from 5 different switches, you have nearly 200 different clipping options. That's pretty cool. Then you've got the fact that each channel has an in and out of its own. So you can, if you want, run into channel 1 and out of channel 2 and use it as a standard pedal. Or you can run into channel 1, out of channel 1, into channel 2, out to channel 2, and that comes in handy if you want to run 1 into the front of the amp, 1 into the effects loop, for instance. Or what most people do with that is run both into 2 different loops of that loop switcher so they can control them. However, this has another ace up its sleeve, MIDI controllable channels. So you can use a MIDI in, which thankfully they have used this style connector, which is something we can all get hold of. It's not in Zoom. And they've put in and out on it. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. You're doing it properly, and this is great. So you can control the channels. You can switch them channel 1 on, channel 2 on, or both of them on and all of them off at the same time via MIDI. Let's talk about those ins and outs as well for the channels, because if you had the out of channel 1 go into another pedal and then you ran it back into the in of channel 2, you're effectively using that like an effects loop. So you could put like a reverb in the middle and get some really crazy tones, or you could put another drive pedal or a compressor or whatever you wanted in there. It's always great to have an effects loop on a pedal. Very cleverly, Brian has added a presence control, because sometimes pedals don't always work for all amps, and he's made it so this will, if you have the presence control all the way down on a bright amp, it'll sound fine. If you have it on a darker amp, say a Marshall or something, you can just turn it up and you can get presence, which is just a higher EQ. So yeah, it's going to work for all amps. Brilliant. This pedal is fantastic. Demos to check out of it have to go to Jamie Humphreys, did a brilliant video of it, and what a player as well. And then obviously Brian Wampler's done his own video, and who knows more about it than him. Go and check them out, they'll be linked below. Let's move on. This is a pedal by Crazy Tube Circuits called Crossfire. On one side, you've got a blackface Fender style circuit, which is really nice. You don't usually get a Fender amp style circuit in a pedal, and they've done that. I can think of only a few pedals that do that. And then on the other side, you've got the most common type of circuit in the world, which is like a TS9. Interestingly, the Tube Screen Reese type circuit on this has asymmetric and symmetrical clipping, so you can get DS1 or TS9 sort of tones on there. Very, very interesting. Listening to it, it sounds very authentic. And Andy, who was demoing it, I think said he was running it through an Engel. He also got some tones which were a bit surprising. What I'm going to suggest you do here is go and watch his video, because as much as I talk about it, I think he did a much better job, because he's, knows what he's talking about with this pedal, and I thought his video was very good on it. So that's going to be linked in the description. You can see a clip of it here. Go and check that out. Very cool. A couple of other suggestions I want you to consider having a look at this is the Octave Diveder. This is based on a Mu-tron Octave Diveder pedal, and you can't get them anymore. What this does exceptionally well is sub-octaves. It just sounds so good. It really does. Go and check that out. Very cheap as well. I may end up getting one of these because it just looks so good. It really does. So good. And it sounds wicked on the synth as well. €89, that is. That's very cool. Unsurprisingly, JO have released a couple of clones again. And they've released a clone of the Proco Fat Rat, which is called the JF21 Splinter. And they've released a clone of the Tech 21 Oxford Sound pedal, which they've actually just called Oxford Sound. It's the JF22 Oxford, and it's based on the 70s orange tones. So yeah, pretty cool. Very cheap. They're around €30, $30, that sort of thing, $30-40. If you're interested, go check them out. I'll link them in the description for you. So last bit of news is there will be no more news for the rest of the year, because it's going to be dead until the new year now. I don't know of any big releases coming out. If something does sneak its way in, we will report on it. However, we will have our rundown of the best pedals and best guitar bits and pieces of 2021 in our podcast, which is the Fret Talk podcast. Go and check it out, please, and have a listen to it, because we're probably going to be getting a little bit drunk during it, and that will be a bit fun. Right, I will see you next year, and don't forget to check out our demos every Tuesday, which will still be coming even over the holiday season. See you all soon. Bye bye. Oh, Merry Christmas.